Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world, LFC fans and football fans in general. This is a after-match reaction to the game against Chelsea at Anfield on Sunday, which resulted in a 2-1 win to Liverpool. Really an opportunity to really go through what we knew was going to be a difficult game. I think anyone who's not even involved with the clubs would know that this is a game to watch, and anyone who's actually involved, whether you support the club or whatever, you would know this is going to be a challenge, because you've got Chelsea who, although they've made some funny decisions in the last year or two, if you do look at it, no one's ever doubted they've got talent and an abundance of players who, if a manager can get them moulded together, could actually be challenging. And they've got a vibrancy of youth. Cole Palmer, Madueke, you still got James playing for them. You've got Caicedo, Lavia, you've got Jackson, who's now starting to show himself as a striker who can be more relied upon. But you go on. The defenders themselves as well, really good young defenders. And, you know, I know they didn't have Cucurella today, but you look at that Chelsea team and you think, the tools are there. Someone just puts them together and can actually make a very, very good squad who can challenge going forward. Now, obviously, for Slot and Liverpool, it was an opportunity for us to see if there is a false dawn. Yes, we know Liverpool got a poor result against Nottingham Forest, and that is one of those results like, why did that happen? At home as well. But then when you start playing teams like your Chelseas, like your Newcastles, like your Man Cities, like your Arsenals, like your Tottenham, like your Aston Villas, then you get into a realm of, if you can take care of business, maybe you are going to challenge. And this was a test in so many ways. So if you even look at the game itself, I mean, gosh, where do you start? And look, as a Liverpool fan, I'm not going to sit here and say, I enjoyed the game. I didn't. It was nervous. Why is that? Because it was a game we did not control. There wasn't a control mechanism going on in that game. Although it wasn't like Klopp's, basketball kind of back and forth. It was control in terms of, no control in terms of Chelsea dominated possession. Chelsea had 57% possession. Liverpool actually played a low line block, which is not, for fans like me, it's very uncomfortable. It's not the kind of thing I like to see in Liverpool, but I can actually understand. And so that's why it wasn't so enjoyable. Sometimes you watch Klopp's games and you just see that thunder blast and you know that we're going to score. You know the fans going to go and support and the roar will move you forward. But at times I felt the fans weren't there. It's still a better atmosphere than than it's been recently. But I just felt that, it was different. It was different. Makes sense? It was different. Chelsea had more shots. Chelsea had 12 shots to our 8, to Liverpool's 8. Liverpool had more shots on target, but even touches in the box. Chelsea had, 137 against 91? That's actually forward passes into the half. I mean, touching the box really, really kind of showed that we weren't in control of this game. And at times, Chelsea were, and we were almost like the away team playing on a counter-attack. But then, that was probably the best strategy, because we caused them concerns in the counter-attack. They played very high line, and even against Brighton, when you watch the game against Brighton, although they came back, Brighton really should have dealt with them, but Brighton really, high line was getting punished. We had a low block and Chelsea had a high line, and they were really pushing on the press. And Kelleher, I thought was calm enough. He did worry me at times, the amount of times getting the ball and how the length of time he waited with Cole Palmer sort of pressing him. But it worked. The strategy worked. Jota up front with Gakpo on the left and with obviously Salah on the right. And as I said, looking at the game, Liverpool played very low block and Chelsea were really pushing. And they were not just that, Chelsea were breaking through the lines of midfield. Now, that didn't sort of result to chances on goal. But what it did result in is putting you on the edge of your seat, worried that Chelsea are going to score in a minute. When you look at players like Trent, first 15, 20 minutes, I was concerned. I do believe Trent then sort of dealt with Sancho, and actually Trent has shown that he's really sort of pushing on when it comes to defensive play, but also he sort of sacrificed a bit of his attacking play to ensure that we're reinforced. Konate did really well. Virgil did really well. Those two were total rock. The concern for me in going forward, and I've mentioned this before, is Robertson. He concerned me so much. The amount of space he was given to Madueke. Wow, Madueke must have been licking his lips. I'm surprised he didn't punish him. I'm surprised. I mean, I think it was even Gary Neville, or was it Carragher, made a comment that they felt, oh, Robbo looks gone here. And I just feel Robbo's just, I don't know if he's got a niggle or something, but it just feels a yard off, pace-wise, strength-wise. It just seems easier to play against, where before, you used to always be concerned about Trent's side, but now you're actually worried about Robbo's side. And the problem is, Tsimikas should be really pushing the door down, but it feels like Tsimikas is still not doing it enough because he should be playing. Robbo's not pulled up trees for me, and he really worried me throughout most of the game, although he did sort of start getting a bit of composure back in. I felt Madueke should have really done more against him. Gravenberch. So Gravenberch had the twin towers of Caicedo and Lavia against him. And look, everyone knows we wanted these guys. Caicedo is a rock in midfield, and he played like that. And Lavia, he's a talented lad. I'm not going to go here and say Lavia played rubbish and shit. No, he didn't. Lavia played well. He really did. He's passing lovely, really nice. And at times I felt Gravenberch was sort of exposed to both of them, but Gravenberch did well. Yes, there was times that Gravenberch would try and do his little shuffles and run, and he couldn't because they were on him. But I felt Gravenberch was that anchor in midfield that allowed Jones to do what Jones did. The game of Jones. Jones today. Jones was immense. Clearly, having a baby does a lot for you. He was immense. He got the penalty on the 29th minute that led to the goal. He got another penalty at the end of the game, or not even end of the game, end of the half, which, you see, if I look at it, I think initially not a penalty. But then again, when I look at the fact that referee's given it and a kind of contact, there's a word, clear and obvious. And for me, it wasn't clear and obvious for now VAR to interfere for the referee to then change his mind. And that's, we've been punished many times when we haven't had penalties because of that kind of bar. And I don't quite understand why it happens here. Why the decisions are, and it wasn't, I'm not blaming the referee because the referee gave it initially. It was VAR. Why are you making the decisions when it's not clear and obvious? The referee should be allowed to carry on with that. It wasn't clear and obvious. Jones was cleared out in a way. I mean, look, the contact from the keeper was such that I feel, you could turn around and say it wasn't a pen, but I feel then he didn't actually make enough contact to get the ball away. So Jones actually got possession after the initial touch, and then he was cleared up, and even then there was a rugby tackle literally flying him, and he was dropping on his neck. So, okay, Liverpool didn't get it, but it was one of those games at that point where, it was we didn't know where it would go. You didn't know what would happen. Jackson was nice ball play through to Jackson. Kanate just played him onside and Jackson finished. And there we had it 1-1. And it was then a case of what's going to happen. Jota was obviously suffering from an injury because he was falling on, where clearly, as far as I was concerned from Colwell, I thought I didn't see much different to that Arsenal sending off for Saliba. But I don't quite understand why it was anything different. Again, I felt Jota would have got the ball. You can't then say, oh, this player is faster than that. That's not the sort of the rules you use. It was ahead. And a few more touches, you probably had a shot. So why wasn't he sent off? And and then we had to have Jota then taken off because Jota clearly wasn't fit. Hopefully he will remain fit. And then Nunes came in, and I felt Nunes had a good game. Nunes played very well as a target man up front, got himself involved, got himself a yellow card, defensively tracking back, getting into bodyguard Salah when he was being harassed. Nice touches, linking up play. Yes, he didn't have the chances, yes. But he did what we needed, which was harass them at the back, keep them occupied, keep supporting the midfielders to try and track back. And he did that. And that was well done, Nunes. And I think there was even a corner where he headed out. So, Nunes did really, really well. Salah, one of those games, I think the first 10 minutes I was a bit concerned, but I thought Salah had a very good game. Lovely finish of the penalty. I thought he should have got a pen. They didn't give it. We move on. But a lovely, lovely pass in the second half to Jones, where I can't remember who was coming back to not touch the ball. I can't remember if it's a Boszalai to be not offside. And then Jones comes in almost identical to the pen. Luckily, there's no contact with the keeper this time, and just knocks it on the outside of his foot as he's sliding in there to score. It's like, yes, well done. And it was then a bit of pressure. At times, in a game, we couldn't get out of a half. We were really, really like an away team. And that's just a testament to Chelsea, and testament to how Chelsea played, and a testament to their manager. I mean, Slot had a yellow card because his anger at the penalty not given, etc., etc. That's why I say it's a strange game. So I don't have to look at it. I don't have to look at it and say, oh, yes, great, it's great play. I'm not going to do that because at times we didn't keep the ball enough. But we are cohesive. We at times, yes, we let the ball pass the press too easy because the press was sometimes half-hearted. And you had Szoboszlai really doing a lot of running, trying to almost press by himself. And Szoboszlai is a guy at the moment people talking about, because with Szoboszlai, you see a lot of the energy, you see a lot of the running. And look, I want a player who can do everything. I'm not one to say I love Szoboszlai. It's not going to happen. But I see what he's doing. I see what the manager sees in him. And I see a player who runs and he works and he tracks and he harries and he presses and he has a physical presence which helps in midfield. Is he technically showing it at the moment? No. Is his passing going awry? Yes. At times, I say he's almost like an opposition player with the way he passes the ball to them. He does it a lot. And he's not shooting enough. He's not getting enough goals. I know this. But until we get something different, that's what we got. And the manager sees him in training and he clearly feels that he's his guy. But I would be lying if I'm not saying I'm not concerned. But I know he works hard. I know he harries. And I had a conversation with someone and I was saying that, look, he's like an Hendo. He is. And we all know Hendo got criticised, but then he was one of the most successful captains in our history. So Boszalai is a player who, almost like Nunes, I think, is going to polarise people. He can do a lot better. I hope he does. But it's a yin and a yang. At times that game, he did what he needed to do. And at times that game, he didn't do what he should have done. But Jones did. Jones was all over the pitch. Jones was harrying up the defence. He was getting back there to help Gravenberch in midfield. He was connecting, always available, linking up with the strikers, getting in the box, getting penalties. He was a marauder. And well done. And he's deservedly, I say he's man of the match, deservedly. He was the difference. And I hope he can keep that consistency, because Jones is one of the players I like. Again, another player that polarizes people. Some people wanted him out last year. And by the season, early start of the season, some people wanted him out. He's a player that he's very talented. All he needs to do is get that into the game of moving the ball fast and not holding the ball too long. Once he can crack that, we've got a talent on our hands. We have got a talent on our hands. And he made a difference. He really did. Maka came on, sewn things up. You know, I thought at times maybe, you know, he just, with Maka, you know what you're getting. And I understood he had to be rested because he's currently trying to manage an injury. But it was nice to see that depth in the bench, that we could bring a Maka on. We could bring him on. We could bring a Diaz on, and Diaz does his thing on the left hand. After Gakpo played all right, Diaz was there, marauding, getting back, you know, attacking on the right side of Chelsea's defence, and had a chance where he just shot wide. It was a team performance, almost workmanlike, but we got the performance, and we are top of the league. And it's impressive. We want to see a better performance. We definitely do. However, we will take these results. Only one loss against Nottingham Forest. Imagine where we'd be if we'd got the result against Nottingham Forest. So Arne Slot has got a challenge, because he knows it's not, you know, other teams may put us away. You know, you do this against City, and you may not get a chance to be in the game, especially when you play at home. You play like this against Chelsea at their ground, although they're away before. Let's remember that. Their away results have been better than the home results, you know? But we want to see this evolution, this slot evolution. Yeah, this slot evolution to then see a faster paced play, but they're not have to be heavy metal like Klopp had, but more in control. We want to be in control of the matches, and I don't think Slot will feel happy, but I think Slot understands that his team, after international break, turned up, patient, cohesive, and got the result. Please give me your own comments, like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you thought the starting lineup was wrong, who you felt was man of the match, what you felt about some of the instances that happened. Like, subscribe, click on notifications. All my channel is about growing in terms of content, also in terms of conversation, soon having debates and stuff. So growing my subscribers. So please like and subscribe, and talk to you soon, because actually we've got Leipzig coming on. So that will probably be a content on Tuesday before the game. Okay, thank you.